Financial markets are really turbulent until you understand CTKS structure. In this video, I'm going to take you through 3 trades on Solana so you can see how you can make money. I'm going to show you what Solana's price action was looking like and where I entered and exited. Then I'm going to explain the buy levels and the sell levels and how these 3 levels of sell created in excess of $1,500 US just in a couple of days. Let's run the numbers. One thing to understand when you're trading, if you're buying on red, buying on the way down, you must know where your objective dynamic market structure is, or the CTKS structure. You get that by popping on the indicator. And when we do that, we're marking up all of price history. On Solana, which has been around since 2020, that's about 1,235 days worth. There are a wide variety of strategies that you can employ when it comes to structural levels. And one thing to always remember, Solana exists within the crypto ecosystem. This means that we must look at Bitcoin as well as total crypto market cap to understand where Solana could be going. If you only look at Solana's chart, you're missing out on literally everything that you need to know. Also, Bitcoin and total crypto market cap exist in a larger system. For example, they exist inside the governmental system, so the US 2-year and the US 10-year are very important. Also, the DXY and other forex pairs such as the euro-dollar and the dollar-yen combo are important to understand risk-off or risk-on sentiment. Also, the VIX and the major indices, stocks, and other cryptos and commodities give us a very good indication as to where Solana is going. Having been inside financial markets for coming on to 4 decades, a lot of people don't understand that all the charts are intercorrelated and interconnected. They either have zero knowledge or medium knowledge. And there's 2 different facets of knowledge when it comes to investing and trading, either a retail or an institutional level of knowledge. The 2 couldn't be more further apart from each other. What you want to focus on are the high levels of knowledge. Just understand that there are many rules that govern financial markets. There's also intercorrelation and interconnection, which I was just talking about. The institutional mindset is incredibly important, and to have concentrated focus is vital to keep you away from the gambling and thrill that comes with total loss of funds. The example trades that I'm going to show you are real trades directly from the particular brokerage, and I'm buying on red and going long at spot. What does this mean? It means I'm not using any leverage at all. If you use leverage and you don't have high knowledge, you can blow up your account consistently, and that's just what happens, unfortunately, inside the market. So what I'm going to be showing to you is going long at spot. If this is your first video getting introduced to the concept of long at spot, what it basically means is you're buying at one area, anticipating the price will come up to another area, and then you're just going to sell at your specific target. So that's going long at spot. If you use leverage, you can short as well, but you short by borrowing funds. So you have a lot of fees on leverage, as well as the fact that 100 to 1 leverage means that a 1% movement will wipe out your position. Leverage is incredibly risky. You can use it if you want, but what we're doing here is we're just applying high knowledge levels and going long at spot. High levels of knowledge requires that you understand CTKS structure. CTKS structure literally determines price waves. Price is always either moving up, and it's not going just in a straight line. It's going up in waves, up and down all the time, and volatility is your friend in such a case. Or price is moving down, but not again in a straight line. It's always moving up and down. This is because of CTKS structure, which is the world's most powerful smart money buy and sell level detection system. Looking at a chart like Solana's, and here we've got a bit of a snapshot in time, we saw that Solana was coming down, and that was some fairly good negative price action. And then we saw it started to base, and then it started to come up. Just bear in mind that the main markets have been incredibly volatile of late. If you've made any profitable trades, congratulations and well done, and you could perhaps pop in the comments for this particular video, I made some sales or I made some profit. The markets have not been easy at this point of time. What I'm going to do is to show you 3 trades. You can see that I bought $27.99 Solana at this 178.58 level, and then just here I bought $28.42 Solana at 175.88, and then just here I bought $28.65 Solana at 174. You can see the variety of different sell levels. This $27.99 level was sold up here, just at that point. The $28.42 was sold just up here at this point, and then $28.65 level was sold up here, so it hung around with its brother, and they got sold together. The real question we should always ask is why here? Why these particular levels? And Ken, what about these levels? You missed those levels. I actually had other profitable trades on Solana, but I just wanted to show you these levels because these levels give you a bit of an understanding on how you can enter and exit. When you're setting a trade, you must know where the structure is inside the specific price chart that you're looking at. If you don't know where the structure is, you're already in a world of trouble. So let's turn on the indicator from the service so we can see there was a level of structure just under the 184 mark, and there was a lot of structure down at the 170. So why did I buy here and here and here? The answers to that question don't reside in the Solana chart. They reside in the Tier 1, 2 and 3 charts. I saw some very interesting behavior on the US 2-year, the US 10-year and the DXY just recently, so that made me lean in at those specific levels. You want to always consider the Tier 1, Tier 2 and Tier 3 charts when you're honing in to buy and sell on a specified chart. If you're just looking at your chart in exclusion to all of the other Tier 1, Tier 2 and Tier 3 charts, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. And unfortunately, you're heading back to that zero knowledge area, so you want to stay at high knowledge. I always recommend, especially inside the masterclass, start small and scale. You've got to get used to buying when the price is coming down and down. You want sell-offs in the price. That's what you're looking for. You're not looking to get in as the price comes up. You're looking to get in as the price comes down or it reverts. So please be aware of this. A lot of people will only get in if the price is going up. That severely limits your upside profitability. So let's look into this. How profitable was this? Well, these 3 sell levels were in excess of $1,500 US worth of profit. Let's have a look. If it's your first time looking at order history, basically what happens is you'll get an order time, the pair that you're investing or trading in, what type of thing it is. It's a limit order in this case, the side, which is a buy, the average buy-in price, because sometimes it comes down through levels. We can see we got filled at exactly the same levels. Also, the price and the amount executed, and also the total. So you can see I put in at spot $5,000 and I picked up 27.99. That is marked on the charts. You can also see that the executed sell, in this case, the side is the sell case. The executed is $27.99, just exactly the same as the buy. And the total here is around 5.5. So that's a 10% profit. I'll take you back to the chart so you can see it. Just remember $27.99. The $27.99 level was this one here and also this one here. You can see the $27.99 as the sell and the 27.99 as the buy. You'll find on a lot of YouTube channels, they never show you their trade history. They just say, oh, I bought right there and I sold right there, as though that's something that they actually did. Unfortunately, unless you can show the proof, it's just fantasy. Just always make sure that you can see the proof of specific trades. If you can't see that, you just say, well, you're just guessing. It's so easy for people to say, especially on YouTube, because they're very, very low knowledge zones in the main. They bought right there, and you'll see it all the time. It's just nuts. To those people, I would say, show me your trades, show me your actual trades. And don't forget, Solana was coming down. The markets were especially volatile. That's a $5,000 entry there, a $5,000 entry there, and a $5,000 entry there. A lot of times, people will expect that they can just get rid of a position just immediately, but the market will determine where you can get rid of a specific trade. Remember, you control the trade or investment, but the market controls the return. And your return is always based on your understanding. These are very good and strong structural levels. I expected a bit of a basing action in here. And also, Solana came down a little bit more into this structural area, this structural support area. So you could have been buying around there. And indeed, a lot of people have different strategies that they only buy at structure. For the first part of the month, I was doing this, only buying at structure, to explain to people that you can just buy there. But you can see that the next structure is here, and then there's a bit of a fresh air gap. I wanted to show you different methodologies, how you can mistime your trade, how you can be above a level. And low knowledge zones always say, I must buy the absolute bottom and must sell the absolute top. The truth is, you can buy anywhere you wish, just so long as you know where the structure is. And there are more trades that I did, which were lower and closer to structure. The next trade is this 2842 level. You can see it there. That was the sell, and the buy was back here. Let's have a look at the trade history of that specific trade. You can see the Solana buy at 2842. This one was a $5,000 level, and the sell was 55.24. So that was a $524 profit, and just turned in under a week. A lot of people want to turn profits in 24 hours. You can definitely do so, but typically your percentages are less, so just be aware of that. Okay, so when we're looking at this, there's the order time, and down here is the actual order. It takes time for things to get filled sometimes. You can see that in order to execute the amount 2842, we had to go into the market as a maker, which meant I already had a level there wanting to buy at that 175.88 mark, which is exactly what we got. And it hung around, and it took basically all in the same period of time, but there were 3 separate fills. And this is something that you need to bear in mind. Sometimes you'll get partial fills. They can be particularly painful. You can see that I bought at that 175.88, and I set my target at 194.40. I was a maker inside the market. Now what that means is I set the sell level there, and I just waited patiently until it got filled. You're looking at 2 separate lines. One line is that 524 in profit. Well, it was really 526, but let's just call it 524. And the level above it was that 499, we'll say nearly 500. So we can see we've taken $1,000. Now, when we say taken $1,000, that doesn't mean that you take it from somebody else. Your gain is never somebody else's loss. When you have high knowledge, especially when it comes to trading, and trading and investing are very different things. High knowledge means that when people trade and invest, they come in and out of the market for millions of different reasons. when people have zero knowledge or medium knowledge on trading, they think that the only way they make money is for somebody else to lose. That's a really nutty thing to think. Just think about it like this. If you're investing, you say, oh, I'm investing, and when I get back 500 times my original investment, I've taken nothing from anyone. How does that? I don't understand. When you buy and when you sell, if you're going long at spot, it doesn't matter if you're trading or investing. It's exactly the same operation, just over different time frames. What you'll actually find inside financial markets, when you sell, you create liquidity, and when you buy, you take liquidity. Both options are very important to the market to function correctly. I remember when I was getting in early with my trading and investment career, I always thought that if I profited, I took away from somebody else. The nature of the universe, it's totally abundant. There's more than enough for everybody. What typically occurs if people are selling based on emotion, well, they're just going to get taught a lesson from the market. But if you're buying based on structure, you're going to get rewarded by the market. There's a fundamental rule when it comes to both trading and investing. Your gain is not somebody else's loss, and vice versa. Okay, let's have a look at this third one, 2865. You can see the buy just here and the sell just there. This was a faster trade. The reason that I show my trading history is because so few YouTubers actually do that. Inside the masterclass, I always show my trade history. I don't say, hey, look at this, I bought at the bottom and I sold at the top. I don't make things up. So many people make things up, and it's just an utter lack of integrity. Having integrity in everything you do is really important. You can see here, this 2865 was bought at a spot level. Now, what I've done recently, I wanted to show you how you can scale up. One thing that I used to do in the past, I used to use $100 levels because I feel they're really accessible to people. But I also want to show people with larger accounts that you can actually scale in larger, and the relative return, even though it's a 10% return, it's not 100 going to 110, it's 5,000 going to 5,500. And we can see this specific trade was turned in just a couple of days, from the 24th into the 26th. Okay, let's check that one out. And you may see and may be wondering, what the heck is a GAR ROI? It's a gross annualized return on investment. Gross annualized is how we look at percentage returns inside the masterclass and inside our community. That means that you might just think, when you have a reasonable level of knowledge, that the 10% return is all that's important. It isn't, actually. If you're doing 10% returns every couple of days and you're just growing your funds by 10% every couple of days, you'll grow your account substantially by the end of the year. Therefore, we've covered off these three trades. The thing to just bear in mind, I was looking at the market, and the reason that I came into Solana at these levels, and there are a couple of other levels in here that I came in as well, but I just wanted to show you three trades. My entries and exits into the market are always based on the Tier 1, Tier 2 and Tier 3 charts, and I won't trade anything unless I have the fully marked Level 1 standard certification and Level 2 standard certification done, which means all of these Tier 1, Tier 2 and Tier 3 charts have that CTKS structure, including Solana. I deliberately showed you those trades because I want to show you you don't have to be perfect to make a really good return. And if you would like to get that CTKS structure, just pop across to ctksmethod.org. And if you want to learn how to draw it up yourself, you can go across to ctksmethod.org and learn under Level 1 and Level 2 standard certification how to draw these lines up. I recommend that you do it. It's an incredibly valuable and powerful methodology to use. And you can see here, in just a couple of days, I've managed to turn $1,500 US out of my knowledge of structural levels. We're not going to go into the same depth, but I just wanted to show you on a couple of trades that I did on Litecoin. One thing to just bear in mind, any specific chart for a professional, they're going to trade it if they think there's an opportunity in it. A lot of people don't like Litecoin. I have no idea why, because it makes money. When watching a video, a lot of people think that it just takes absolutely no time to create videos. That couldn't be further from the truth. It creates an enormous amount of time. And unfortunately, I just didn't have it today. I just wanted to show you a Litecoin trade, buying 23.11.8 at 2000 and then returning a little over 180 in terms of profit. Here's another example on Litecoin. A $5,000 investment turned to $58.34, which is a little over $834 in terms of profit. So I just wanted to show you that you can make a huge amount of money trading and investing. Personally, I love to trade. That's where I focus. I would recommend that you watch the last video, Focus Equals Profits. This is another trade, another fresh trade just done today, $834 profit. And when you add it to the over $1,500 profit, it just really adds up. It's a good life. My secret sauce or my secret weapon is that I understand CTKS structure. I look across the Tier 1, Tier 2 and Tier 3 charts before I place any specific buy order. And then I've got a targeted sell order. I may move those around depending if the Tier 1, Tier 2 and Tier 3 charts start to look a bit dodgy. If they start to look a little bit unhealthy, I will move things down. If they start to look healthier, I will move things up. I hope this helps you out, my friends, on understanding where you can place your specific orders. Just always look into CTKS structure. Always make sure you know where structural support and structural resistance levels are. Always check through your Tier 1, Tier 2 and 3 charts from a structural level perspective. Don't just look at the direction of momentum. Make sure that you're looking at the structure, and you will see and you will find it will make you thousands and thousands of US dollars. Have a great day or night ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to catching up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.